UCLA is talking terpenes, coronavirus is causing calls to action for the legal system, and then we've got something that will tease your taste buds. Today is Friday, March 20th, and your TRICHOMES Morning Buzz starts now.
Broadcasting live from the TRICHOMES.com studios in Southern California, it's time for your Morning Buzz. We bring you late-breaking news that keeps you up to date with what's happening in the cannabis industry.
A UCLA Cannabis Research Initiative received a $3.9 million grant to study terpenes and pain. The National Institutes of Health's National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health has awarded a $3.9 million grant to the University of California, Los Angeles Cannabis Research Initiative to study whether terpenes can reduce the amount of opioid medication a person needs to lessen pain. The funding will allow Ziva Cooper, research director of the UCLA Cannabis Research Initiative, to study the entourage effect, or how terpenes and THC interact with each other. The researchers will study the terpenes myrcene and caryophyllene, which will be administered both with and without THC to see whether they help reduce pain on their own and whether they enhance the pain-relieving effects of THC while reducing its intoxicating properties, the university said in a press release. The terpenes will also be examined separately to see whether they decrease pain on their own. Cooper, who is also an associate professor of psychiatry and biobehavioral sciences at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA, said that chemicals specific to the cannabis plant may be effective options at limiting pain with minimal side effects, but placebo-controlled studies to explore this urgent area of research are desperately needed. Chronic pain is a significant public health burden, and there are few effective treatments that lack the adverse effects that limit use, Cooper said in a statement.
Baltimore is ending most drug and other prosecutions amid coronavirus outbreak. According to Marijuana Moment, the top prosecutor in Baltimore is moving to dismiss pending charges against people accused of most drug crimes. In a letter to staff on Wednesday, State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby listed a series of offenses that should not result in incarceration. Drug possession, attempted drug distribution, prostitution, traffic offenses, and public urination are among the offenses that shouldn't land people behind bars at this point, according to Mosby's guidance. Putting these individuals in jail could exacerbate the public health crisis by exposing inmates to the virus, she said. This policy is in place for now as an attempt to save lives, Mosby told Marijuana Moment in response to a query about whether people should be prosecuted for drug offenses in general outside of the current public health crisis.
Advocates have begun to speak out, demanding cannabis prisoners in particular be released from prisons amid COVID-19 crisis. A story from Ganjapreneur reports Steve D'Angelo, the founder of the Last Prisoner Project, released a video statement calling for the release of all cannabis prisoners as the novel coronavirus spreads into the U.S. prison system. When you're locked up in a cell, you are powerless, D'Angelo said, describing the outbreak from the perspective of prisoners. You have no control over your food, over your social distance, even over the air you breathe, and already coronavirus is in prisons. D'Angelo's warnings accompany announcements from some law enforcement agencies that their officers would not be responding in person to non-emergency situations so as to reduce social interactions between officers and potentially infected individuals. Police in Washington, D.C., however, have continued to make low-level arrests, including for illegal cannabis distribution, despite the fact that personal cannabis cultivation and possession have been legalized in the district.
Netflix announces a new cannabis cooking show coming next month. Watching a lot of Netflix lately? Here's something to add to your watch list. According to thegrio.com, producers say Cooked with Cannabis is a series that teaches viewers that weed is a seasoning and not just a drug. Khalees, the milkshake singer and ex-wife of rapper Nas, has a new cannabis cooking show on Netflix that is guaranteed to bring some boys and everyone else to the yard. The singer and chef announced her new show, Cooked with Cannabis, on her Instagram page and said she can't wait to introduce cannabis culinary creations to a greater audience. The show launches on, you guessed it, April 20th.
And that was today's Buzz. Come see what industry professionals are saying and join the conversation with the cannabis community at trichomes.com.
And be sure to keep up with us on all social media platforms, subscribe to our podcast and the Trichomes YouTube channel for daily content. My name is David Fortin.
And my name is Allison Ben-Yehuda. Take care.